with chicken, season it, then beer and stock.
What's up, Chef?
Hey guys, how's it going?
We're live, Chef.
Well, thank you for joining us today on Taproom Live from my house. So for those of you stuck in your house, welcome to North Carolina. This is a pretty awesome experience. I've got my kids here are going to be helping. My wife's in the background. She's a bit of a producer today. And then I've got some of our awesome marketing and victory and Southern Tier teams standing by to help out as well.
Hi, we sure are.
What's up?
So you may hear the little voices of the angels in the background pop in to ask me questions. So feel free to type in any questions you got. They'll shout them out at me and I'll answer as I go. So I'm Drew Ward. I'm the corporate executive chef for Artisanal Brewing Ventures, which is 6 Point and Southern Tier and Victory and Bold Rock Cider. We have 8 locations right now. We've got 3 Victory locations in Downingtown, Parksburg, and Kennett Square in Pennsylvania. We've got 3 Southern Tier locations, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and the original in Lakewood, New York. 2 Bold Rock locations in Nellisburg, Virginia, and Mills River, North Carolina. And then in Charlotte, we have Brewers at 4001 Yancey, and we're the family spot. We have all of our whole family of beer and cider all in one spot, and our distillery on top of that. So you'll see tonight when I'm cooking, I'm definitely going to cook with beer, and I tend to always create our menus using beer and cider. The philosophy behind that, we make amazing craft beer, we make amazing craft cider, so we should make craft food to go with it. And incorporating it in just shows another option of what you can do with our great products. So with that, I think we're going to get going here.
What are we making today?
We are making, in celebration for a little Cinco de Mayo coming up, we're doing Cinco de Monkey.
Ooh.
And Southern Tier jumped in with us. So we're going to start with a Michelada using Lakeshore Fog from Southern Tier, a nice hazy IPA. And then we're going to do a chicken tinga, which is pretty much a stewed down chicken that you shred for tacos. But we are going to infuse it with Twisted Monkey. We're going to pickle some red onions also with Twisted Monkey. And then just some good old rice, black beans, and a hot sauce crema to top it off. And it's a pretty easy meal. We're going to knock it out in about 30 minutes here, so you'll see.
That sounds awesome. And Chef, as you prepare the Michelada, I think for everybody watching with us, it's time to crack that beer so we can drink along while Drew makes this awesome recipe.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Cheers. What are you drinking, Chef?
I am going to make the Michelada right now.
All right.
All right. So easy. We got a lime. We're going to run the lime around the edge. This is a little tahini. You could use chili powder. You could do anything like that. We're going to rim it, kind of like you would a margarita.
Oh, that's fancy. I love it.
I know, right? Spilling everywhere. This is a mixture of hot sauce, lime juice, and Worcestershire sauce. We're going to put a little in there. And then the good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Beer. We got the Lakeshore Fog.
Oh, yeah. 16-ounce can, huh?
Well, you know, it's
Oh,
a celebration, right?
Hell yeah.
So what's the inspiration behind a Michelada? Where does that come from?
Well, they drink them throughout Mexico, and it's really it's kind of spicy. It's got that bright lime bite, and then you got the beer. So it just cools you down in the summer. So this is to cheers to all of our frontline workers out there, all the doctors and nurses. Cheers to all my fellow chefs that wish they could be in their restaurant right now, all the bartenders, all of our people out there buying beer, selling beer. We appreciate every one of you. So cheers to that.
Cheers.
Absolutely. Cheers. Thanks, everybody.
All right. So let's get started. Thank you. So first, this is Jared. He is going to be one of our cameramen tonight and helping a little bit. And
Hi,
this
Jared.
is my other son, Ryan, who will also be helping tonight.
Hey, Ryan.
Hey guys.
All right. So we are going to start off with just the chicken. All right. So I'm going to cut some onion here. Doesn't matter. Zoom in a little bit. You're going to just rough chunks. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. So for chicken tinga, your onions, tomatoes, chipotle, your chicken, you just want to get it all in there and really let it stew down together. We're going to use some chicken breast tonight for speed. I actually love chicken thighs in this, but either way is perfectly fine. Jared here is going to knock out these tomatoes. This is how easy this is. You got a 10-year-old here, or 11-year-old. I'm sorry, he just had a birthday.
Nice.
An 11-year-old here knocking out just 2 big chunks across.
That looks
Just knocking out
awesome.
some tomatoes
Mad
for us.
skills.
Hey, Chef, we had a quick question come up in the comments. I just want to ask if somebody has Zing Zang, which I believe is a Bloody Mary mix, can they use that as a base in the Michelada, or what would you recommend?
Yeah, actually, a lot of people do micheladas with a tomato juice or a clamato or some sort of Bloody Mary mix. I prefer it without the tomato, but a lot of people do it with the tomato for sure. That's good.
Oh, that's good to know. Thanks.
Cool.
All right, so now that he's got that, let's go. We're gonna come over here. Got a nice warm pan here. We're gonna go a little olive oil.
Oh,
You got it? Grab it. All right, let me get my cameraman back. There we go. All right, so we got some chicken going in. We'll throw our tomatoes and our onions in there. We got a little bit of cumin, some salt. Don't be afraid of salt. You want to eat like you eat in a restaurant. Don't be afraid of salt. We've got chipotle. Just buy it in a can. You can use all the leftovers from the can for lots of things. It's great with eggs, any chicken, pork, you name it.
so Chef,
I
does
think
the
it was
Chipotle, I was going to ask you, does the Chipotle make it extra spicy? What if we don't love spice?
Then leave it out.
Okay.
You could do smoked paprika, and smoked paprika would actually give you that same smokiness without the spice.
Okay.
Chef,
Right.
what about the salt? Does the kind of salt matter?
Yes, kosher salt. I always use kosher salt. It's the best. It's the cleanest flavor. You can feel it in your hand when you're using it. It's a better judge on how much you're using. All right, we're gonna let that start going. We're just gonna cover it up. All right, we're gonna come back over to here. Get this. All right, so now we're gonna do a real quick pickle of a red onion that'll go into our rice. So we're gonna
that sounds
do
great.
just a quick dice.
I mean, the knife skills, I'm so envious right now. It takes me like 3 times the time to chop an onion.
Well, you know, you kind of get used to it when this is what you do all day. So
Absolutely.
we're gonna do a quick dice. We could also do a julienne on it, depending on how you want it to look. So we're gonna follow me over to there. All right, we're gonna hit this with a little red wine vinegar. A little sugar.
And now you're making the pickling liquid, right?
Correct. And then just a little water. All right, let's take a peek at our chicken while that's working. Oh, that's looking nice.
That's sizzle.
Now we're gonna add the good stuff to the chicken. So we're gonna go a little bit. Twisted Monkey.
Oh yeah.
It's one of our newest monkeys. Came out I think last year. It's got a nice mango flavor to it, so it's awesome with the chicken. So we're gonna add some chicken, some Twisted Monkey there, and then just a little bit of chicken stock as well.
Oh, that looks good.
Reseason that.
Hey, Chef, a question came in about the chicken. Can folks sub in shrimp on the same recipe?
Absolutely. It'll obviously cook much faster, so you may want to. I would probably cook my sauce down first, and then when it's about halfway done, go ahead and add your shrimp because the shrimp's going to cook so fast you'll lose a lot of that flavor. But you could, I mean, shrimp. It's great with pork. You could do it in a slow cooker with big pork butt. Let it cook all day and have it that night. Anything like that.
Yeah.
And so I saw you added the Twisted Monkey, which is awesome. Can you talk a little bit about, like, is the idea to cook out the beer taste? Like, what can we expect once all of this is said and done?
Really depends on how we're using it. So in this recipe, we will definitely, it'll cook out somewhat, but you'll still get that good flavor from the mango.
Oh, great.
Some recipes we'll put it in right off the bat just because we want that beer flavor in there. So we're also going to add a little bit of Twisted Monkey to the pickling liquid as well.
Look at that. A full beer feast.
That's awesome.
And then with the pickling liquid, are you letting it come to a boil? What are we looking for in that?
Tell us about the heat.
Real quick boil. As soon as it comes to a boil, we'll pour it over the onions. And these are a really quick pickle. They don't have to be long. You could even do this recipe without boiling the liquid. It could just be pouring all the vinegar, the sugar, and salt over it and let it sit while you're cooking dinner without getting it hot. And it'll still be it won't be as pickly, but you'll get some of that pickle flavor in there.
Delicious.
All right. So while we're doing that, we're going to bring my sous chef number 2 in over here.
While you're doing that, we got another question from Michael.
Yes.
Thing to cook other than tacos?
What? Say that again?
What's your favorite thing to cook other than tacos?
My favorite is any kind of seafood, to be honest with you. I absolutely love seafood. And then we're going to add some cilantro here now, right at the end of this. Get that in there. All right. You got it here? Yes. All right. So Ryan is going to knock out our hot sauce crema for us. We've got some sour cream. You got a little hot sauce, any kind of hot sauce you like. A buddy of mine made this. So this is what I'm using. Go ahead and hit that. Shake it, shake it. Shake more. Come on. There you go. All right. We're going to squeeze some lime in there. As he squeezes lime, I'm going to chop some cilantro real quick. Not too much cilantro. My wife's not a huge cilantro fan, so.
Yeah, Chef, I was just going to ask that. How come, what's the science behind that? Why is cilantro so polarizing?
There is an allergy to some people, and I think it's a fairly large amount, actually. Cilantro tastes a lot like soap. To me, cilantro tastes absolutely amazing, and then to other people, it does not. So
I'm with you on that one. I'm on the amazing camp. I can't get enough of it.
Same. Team cilantro. Cheers to that. Let's do it. Let's do a big cheers.
A social. Guys, we've got 75 viewers right now who are either watching from the comfort of their homes or making it alongside you. So thanks so much for joining us. We're super excited. Look at that.
And whisk that in. There we go. A little bit more lime juice just to loosen it up. Squirt it all over the kid.
This is something you could make in advance, right? Like if you're prepping for your Cinco de Monkey fiesta, you could easily prepare this the morning of or the day before.
Absolutely. You could have, these onions could be done ahead of time. The sauce could be done. It's great.
And speaking of preparing, what's pretty cool about you giving us this tour is that folks can watch this video at any time after this live stream. It'll be posted on our Taproom Live Facebook group as well as our YouTube page. So, Chef, this is going into eternity, buddy.
That's what I like it. I like to be remembered in history, you know. So, all right. So we've got some rice going. We've got some rice. I've had this cooking already a little bit earlier. But I can't see anything. So I got some rice there. We've got a little black bean here. Got some black beans. There we go. All right, so this is boiling. So we're going to bring this over. Pour it right over top of our onions.
That looks good.
So we got those. And like I said, I mean, you can make these a day, 2, 3 days ahead, whatever. All right, so let's take a peek at our chicken here. Oh yeah, chicken's looking good. You got that
fog. Looks amazing.
Nice.
There we go. So now I'm going to take the lid off and let this kind of reduce down so we get a little more sauce out of it. It'll thicken up some.
What kind of rice do you like to use for this particular kind of dish?
Any kind of rice, regular white rice. Jasmine rice is fine. Basmati, it doesn't matter. You could do brown rice. We're using Carolina Gold. It's my favorite of all rices, but it's not always available. So I gotta say, the Lakeshore Fog makes an amazing Michelada. Just saying.
Yeah, cheers to that. Social. How about it?
Social, absolutely.
All right. So let me get cleaned up here a little bit real quick, and we will just about be there. Plate here in a minute. We'll cut a couple lime wedges real quick.
So for folks who are maybe just joining us right now, let's recap what we've done so far. Do you want to go over what's on the stove?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got right here, we've got, this is our star. We've got our chicken tinga working. Now you could also do this in the oven, by the way. You could do it however you want to do it. So we've got chicken breasts in there. You got some chipotle right here. We've got tomatoes cooking down, onions, cilantro, twisted monkey, and a little bit of chicken stock, salt, pepper, and cumin going right there. We've got some black beans going back here. It's literally just a can of black beans, nothing fancy.
Perfect.
Got a little rice going right there.
That is the makings of a Cinco de Monkey fiesta.
Absolutely. We've got our onions that we've just quick pickled right here. And right here, we've got a little hot sauce crema. That'll go on top of our tacos.
So, Chef, you've got a lot of stuff working on that stove. Obviously, the heat for each of those. Are you dialing in really specific on each of those?
Say that again, sorry.
How important is the heat on each of those? Getting the perfect temperature on the pan.
You know, things like black beans and stuff, not so big. This, you know, you want it warm enough that when you put everything in, that it's gonna not stick right off the bat. But we're also kind of running it really a little higher right now than we normally would, just because we are on a little time constraint tonight. But you could easily put this down to a little medium low and let it just simmer and let it go. So while that's finishing up, this is just some corn tortillas. I am a huge corn tortilla fan. Some people like flour, whatever you like. I've wrapped them in a paper towel. It's slightly damp. Just gonna microwave them for like 20 seconds. And they're gonna steam out. And
that's a really good tip.
Pro tip.
Yeah. So you could do them. My kids like it when I do them on the burner and let them get charred, but that's just a mess to clean up that I don't want to clean up tonight. And my wife really appreciates it when we don't do that as well. So we just do the quick light steam. All right.
Do you double them up or are you a one tortilla guy?
Depends on, like, these are thick enough that you can definitely just go one. If you get some of the thinner ones, you go thinner. All right, so we're gonna start plating a little bit real quick. So we'll go a little bit of rice here. It's just salt and pepper in there.
So, Chef, a lot of questions coming in from your buddy Gary, and he wants to know. Yeah, he wants to know if you always cook barefoot.
Always. It keeps you grounded. All right, we're gonna go beans and some of that good juice on there.
Look at that. The steam looks amazing. Hey, Chef, I guess the question that I have, I've always been rinsing my black beans. Should I not be doing that? Looks like the juice is really good.
I don't rinse them. I like that the flavor you get from them. And usually they got, I love salt, so I don't mind the salt in there. All right, so we're gonna take our chicken here. Let's come out. We're gonna shred it just a little bit more.
Oh, there
just to
you
make
go.
it a little more taco sized. And then you can get these tomatoes and the onions in there and kind of chop that up a little bit too. All right, so you get that all nice and mixed. We're gonna hit it with our tortilla. We're gonna go a little of our mix here. Now you can also do cabbage in this. I love cabbage and tacos, which you will see on most of our menus. A little of that.
A little crunch is always good.
A little bit of our crema right on top, followed by a little bit of our quick pickled onions.
I'm getting so hungry.
Delish.
And we can do just a little bit of, just rip some cilantro on there. Did we lose the food? We lost the feed. Hang on.
We got you on the computer, Drew.
Okay. And then just a little cilantro right on top.
That is so cool.
Nothing. And that's it. That's a little quick Cinco de Monkey. You could make all day. A ton of those.
All day.
All day.
That looks fantastic.
Delish.
All right, so that's pretty much the meal. We can do some question and answer if you guys have some right now, other than the bare-feeted question.
So, Chef, I think folks are curious, how healthy is this dish, and, what substitutions can you make if you're watching your figure, so to speak?
It seems to think people don't think I'm watching my figures, what it sounds like.
That's not it.
This is actually a super healthy dish. I mean, there's really no fat in here except some olive oil and the crema.
Great.
You could not do the crema if you wanted. You could do brown rice. But other than that, there's not a whole lot to cut out of this.
That's good to know. And I think for, crema, you could always do like a plain Greek yogurt. I know that has a ton of protein and pretty mild flavor, so that could work too.
Oh, for sure. Any of that would work fine. You want to try this?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Hey,
All
Chef.
right, we're gonna see how it is.
Yeah, give us the verdict.
Yeah.
Good.
There you go.
Nice.
Just wait on that.
Hey, Chef, tell the crew here watching a little bit about, all the tap rooms that you sort of support and inspire all the recipes for. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So we've got, like I said earlier, the 3 Victory Taprooms. They've been around since the late 90s. Well, the original in downtown has been around since 96. And we definitely have some Pennsylvania style favorites in there. We even got some scrapple on the menu. Everything we cook there, all the beer we use is Victory. Southern Tier, we've got Pittsburgh, sitting right between the Steelers and the Pirates Stadium. So huge place for game days, awesome place to be. We got pierogies on the menu there. We've got all the good stuff. Cleveland as well. You know, a lot of great stuff. Then we got our Empty Pint, which is the original Southern Tier in Lakewood, which is just a really cool place. Tons of outdoor area. Have some huge festivals there, Pumpkin Fest and Public Day, which are awesome. Our Bold Rock locations are just both in beautiful. Nellisford's just out in the mountains. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Totally.
It's in Virginia. And Mills River, North Carolina, near Asheville, another gorgeous place. And then Charlotte, we've got Old Warehouse. Used to be a fiber mill back in the day, been in the 40s, awesome location. And all those places, we have certain things on our menus that'll come across. We always have our pretzel on the menu that we make in-house every day. I don't think a lot of places can say they actually make their own pretzel like we do.
It is phenomenal.
And we have a burger on the menu at all our locations. It's our own proprietary burger blend that's made for us by a butcher. Everything we make in-house. We don't buy anything. Everything we're doing, everything's from scratch. Like I said, craft food, craft beer. Yeah,
that's great.
It's kind of what we do.
Chef, we got a couple more questions if you have a few more minutes. It seems like there's some non-cilantro fans watching us right now. What is a good replacement for cilantro for those that may not love it?
So since I live with a non-cilantro eater, we usually use parsley. We use parsley in a ton of dishes.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, you won't get that same, it's not that same flavor, but you still get that nice herbaceousness that you're looking for. Yeah, so parsley for that. Pretty much any herb is able to substitute out in most things. You know, I think basil could work in this pretty well as also. Perfect.
Well, those are all great tips. And then, you know, finally, for people who are just starting to experiment cooking with beer, what's the beer style you'd recommend they start with? What's the best beer style to cook with?
I think easiest would be to go with a Pilsner or a lager, you know, a Prima Pils. It's pretty easy to cook with, or our classic from Victory. We actually use that in all of our pizza dough instead of water. Both easy styles to use. You get that little bit of that beer flavor. You know, if you want to go the classic kind of beginner and boil your hot dogs or your brats in beer, both of those would work great.
That's great. No, those are all awesome tips.
Chef, I got a specific question from our buddy Max on the VIP line. Oh yeah, how does the beer come through in the flavor of the finished dish?
Did you taste the beer? My son doesn't know what beer tastes like, I guess. So it definitely comes through. You know, it's not a you don't have that bitterness that you can sometimes have with certain beers, but you definitely get, especially with the Twisted Monkey, you're getting that sweetness, you're getting that the citrus, the fruit. You'll definitely taste all that.
Delicious.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Chef, I think this about wraps it up. I think we're ready to move to our final slide. If you want to give us maybe one last shot of that beautiful plate of food, or maybe we do it after, and you can announce our next.
It's not so beautiful now that my son ate half the taco.
Oh, well, that's okay. But if you want to go ahead and announce our next episode.
Absolutely. Next episode is a little more VIP than me. We've got Bill Kovaleski and Ron Barchett, the founders of Victory, which is pretty awesome to have them doing this. You know, you can easily say the two of them kind of started the craft beer revolution, really. So I think it'll be pretty awesome.
Agreed. And that's happening same time next week on May 7th. So be sure to tune in for the next episode of Taproom Live. Chef, thank you so much. This was a lot of fun. And I know I'm ready to celebrate Cinco de Monkey and make some chicken tinga tacos with Twisted Monkey.
Awesome. And thank you guys for joining.
Thanks, Chef. Cheers.
All right, social. Cheers everybody.